September 21st, 1987. It's been 1 year since I first went inside that house. I have to finish what I started. What I am about to do has not been approved by the Vatican.
The forest was waiting for me. That night, I don't remember anything but dread. A note was lying for me off that same beaten path. Have you forgotten already? This forest has a mind of its own. If you get lost, you could always try remembering where you've been. As if a demon itself had written it to taunt me. Perhaps it had. But the demon was right. This forest did have a mind of its own. Whoa! Of course. The Guardian would be waiting for me out here. I would not be allowed to roam freely after all. This well, something was binding it. At the very bottom, I could feel something waiting for me. And yet all I found was a postcard. Nate and Jason's 6th birthday. I had no idea what had become of Nate and Jason. They were not home when I first visited that house. I could only pray that they were okay. Somewhere. I followed the path to the home that I swore I would never return to. A deer ran from me. I did not know how they could still be here. And here it was. The house where I died. The door was locked, and yet I knew she was still there. She must be. I would find her. There must be a key nearby. A grave. And a note right by it. Mr. Martin, it has taken longer than expected registering the markers on your property as a historical cemetery. Our office has had difficulty identifying who was buried there. The inscriptions on the gravestones are written in a language that we cannot identify. I've sent the gravestone rubbings to some of our peers at the University of Connecticut. I will reach out to you when I get a response from them. All the best, Daryl Henderson, State of Connecticut Historical Society. These graves. I had no clue who was buried here. But I could only hope it was just old. Just old. Nothing more. The demon prowling about. Some sort of ritual laid at my feet. I couldn't. Chaos reigns. Those words pounded in my head. A dead tree stood in front of me. and a memory. Or today I noticed Amy's favorite tree looks like it's dying. All the needles are falling off it and the bark is peeling. I guess I'm more upset about it than Amy is. She is totally absorbed in her volunteer work at the clinic. I guess it's good that she's found something she's passionate about, but I've gotten ugly looks from some of the women at the book club. Kathy and her religious friends won't even talk to me anymore. Amy's work at the clinic. I still was unsure of what it was. All I knew for certain was that that clinic was shut down soon after Amy's transformation. The road below me. Perhaps this lake could give me clarity. I caught some people walking through the woods around the house last week. Not kids, just regular adults. They told me they got lost while hiking. I pointed them back towards the road. The whole thing just didn't feel right. I think I should dig up Bob's rifle out of storage. At this point, I wanted to scream for her to run. But there was nothing I could do. If only I had known beforehand. Only I could save myself from my own cowardice. Stones about here. What have they meant? A lecture by those deceived by the devil. It felt as if this entire town had fallen under his command. But I could not lose my faith in God. He had guided me to freedom for a reason. He had guided me back to this house for a reason. The children. Nate, Jason. Where were they leading me? Oh. The Martins' house lies about 100 yards off Snake Meadow Hill Road. There's almost no driveway. Trees jut out in the middle of the gravel path that is mostly covered in grass. It was difficult to find the house, especially since it was already dark when we arrived. Father Allred seemed to know where he was going. He simply drove straight ahead until we arrived at the house. In the headlights, I saw an old shed off to the right of the path. Father Allred explained that he would rather perform the exorcism away from the house, but the Martins had insisted that Amy remain inside. He complained that having the family present makes it difficult to proceed with elements of the rite that may seem harsh to the layperson. The key was in this old shed. If only we had performed the exorcism here, would it have changed anything? I had the key. There was something here. I could not tell if it was paper, bone, or something else. Perhaps it was better if I didn't know. Bob, the kids and I miss you more every day. The twins and Amy have started their next school year at home. Amy keeps asking when she's going to be allowed to go to real school. I think she's getting cabin fever. The twins are having no problems occupying their time. Yesterday they came in with their hands covered in blood. I guess they found a dead deer and thought it would be a good idea to touch it. I think we might be having a coyote problem, because when I went out with them to look at the dead deer, it was a particularly gruesome sight. All this just a day after the twins' birthday party. Can't wait till you come home. Miss Martin. So many things I need to tell you. So many things I cannot tell you. There he was. He had left something for me. Father Garcia, you are hereby instructed to release Michael Davies from your care and return him to his home immediately. Mr. and Mrs. Davies have already been contacted by our office. A representative of church is currently en route to their home to discuss compensation in return for their discretion. You will meet our representative there and accompany him back to Rome, Cardinal Gifford. I had heard of Father Garcia before. I was unsure of what his deal was. Turning here was the last thing I ever wanted to do, but it was a necessary evil. If I could save that girl, even at the expense of my own life, I would. Mr. and Mrs. Martin greeted us at the front porch. Mr. Martin led us downstairs to the basement, explaining that Amy was down there in restraints. I felt for him. There was guilt and shame in his voice. Amy was in the very back of the attic in a chair, perfectly calm, staring at us. It is hard to describe the look on her face. It was not the kind of look a child gives you. Even back then, something about her felt different. Though it could have been just the sassy look of a child, I felt as if there was something more behind those eyes. Fruit was rotting. I would rather not head into the basement. This whole house was rotting. Nate's drawing. He had seen someone likely, going to attack his sister. If only the family had contacted us sooner, maybe we could have saved them. The back door was locked. There was no way out except through my own sins. I saw her behind me in the mirror, but she would not show herself to me immediately. I had to confront her myself. The attic, the place of my greatest failure. Yet the door was locked. Nate and Jason's room. Old toys were here. I would not linger here for too long. An old doll lay in Amy's room. Bob must be stationed somewhere in the Middle East because he sent over this weird-looking doll for Amy's birthday. I'll ask Anish about it next time we have book club. She looks like she could be from over there. Amy didn't seem excited to see the doll. I think she would rather have a phone instead, or maybe seeing a baby doll makes her feel self-conscious about her working at the clinic. It seems that the clinic Amy had worked at was an abortion clinic. Many Catholics had seen that as blasphemy. Personally, I tried not to drive an opinion on it. God's plan did not seem to work out in the end anyways. I guess I was the only one who thought to check in the attic. When I got up there, it was freezing cold. I found Amy standing in the back, looking straight at me when I first met her downstairs. We spoke briefly, although it was frustrating to talk to her, or it. I experienced a bit of deception from the demon. During our conversation, she uttered my mother's first name, and in other instances, she spoke perfect Latin. I called for help from the others, but nobody came, so I raised my crucifix and began the rite again. If only I could have done more. This tub had some water damage. The tap was still leaking. I don't feel safe in my own home anymore. I hear voices outside around the house at night. I don't let the twins go out in the woods to play because I'm afraid of what's out there. The house itself feels stressed, distorted, slanted somehow. It's like I'm walking through a carnival funhouse. Amy's condition has only gotten worse. I can't stand to be around her, and I don't know why. She just doesn't seem like herself anymore. I want to take her to the doctor, but I can't leave the boys here. I find that the phone stops working throughout the day, and now I can't seem to find my car keys. Thank God Bob comes home tomorrow. It seemed I was being beckoned to my master's last resting place. Would I still find Father Allred down there? Perhaps we could finish the rite together. These mannequins. I never knew why the Martins had so many of them. Perhaps it was better if I didn't know. Dear Amy, thanks for writing. It really brightened my day hearing from you. In your letter, you asked what's the weirdest thing I've seen as a missionary. The area we're working in has a lot of folks who practice Quimbamba. It's what you might call a pagan religion. It's kind of a mix of Catholic and African religions. One of the saints they worship is San La Muerte, or Saint Death. Yesterday, we talked to a boy, about 15. When we asked him if he had ever prayed, he said no, but I have prayed to San La Muerte. He told us about a time when he stayed over at his cousin's house, and according to him, they prayed to some figures of San La Muerte, and the figures made things in the house move around. He got real quiet and scared looking after that. We told him he could pray to God, and that God wouldn't make him feel scared like that. We invited him to church, but he hasn't come yet. Need to wrap this letter up and get back to work. See you in 4 months, Leighton. I knew very little about Leighton. He seems like a good boy, though his talks to Amy did not seem to save her. Here it was. Father Allred's blood. Amy's parents could not endure witnessing the proceedings of the rite for long. Miss Martin was hysterical, and the thing that was inside Amy was feeding off the fear. Father Allred asked me to take the Martins upstairs. I was physically worn out, but managed to get them back up the stairs into the kitchen. Amy was screaming, "Mother, Mother," the whole time. Finally, I got them to sit down with me at the kitchen table. After a few minutes, we couldn't hear much of anything down in the basement, so I went down to check on things. I found Father Allred lying on his back, unconscious, with his arms spread out wide. Amy was not in the chair.
He is here.
The entire house felt like it was attempting to kill me. Back in this room, I saw pools of blood. There's blood everywhere. I looked, she always attacked. She got too close. She tried to tear me to pieces.
I heard a door open upstairs.
And just like that, I knew where she was leading me. The place of my greatest failure, the attic. Molly, the church might contact you in a few days to tell you their version of what happened to me. I want you to hear it from me first. A year ago, I was involved in the exorcism of Amy Martin. What they said in the papers about what happened isn't true. She, my superior, father, with when I confronted her, she managed to cut the power to the house, her own parents, and their own. I have to go back to the house. The nightmares I'm having are real. She's still there, waiting for me. I can still help her. If I don't come back, know that I love you, and I'm sorry. John. The cross is spun, attempting to intimidate me.
My God, what happened to you? Do you think my face is pretty? I have to finish what I started. She's my priest.
I perform the exorcism once more. A demon emerged, but I did not stop. She attacked me. I did not stop. Demon within her showed its face. She was far stronger than I was. If she touched me, I would be dead. Finished the exorcism. The demon seemed to retreat inside of her. I attempted to stop her. With a She left through the window. I would have to find her outside. I could not let her escape again. This is the ceremony for opening the portal. Let no brother or sister utter it. Prepare the city. Use the right index finger to draw the signs of the deed on the floor. Bring an impure vessel to the signs of the fire. Let a brother or sister drink each sign of the fire. Carve the face of the city. The blood that fills the opening is the new portal. Let 7 be taken from their mothers and lowered into the portal. Upon offering the 7th city, the emerge from the baby. This is the second death. Mirrored words told me to kill her. That a gun sat in front of me. And yet I could not bring myself to leave. I felt only shame. And looking in the mirror, I shot the one that I wanted to be destroyed most. And yet, upon the final shot, the one I hoped would shatter me whole, the hand of the devil came to drag me to hell. October 23rd, 1986. Dear Dr. McAlshan, it has been 30 days since the beginning of my treatment here at Yale Psychiatric Institute. Dr. Spinell, who has been so patient with me, has helped me understand my afflictions and has helped me find a way to move forward and accept the truth. With Dr. Spinell's help, I have come to accept what really happened in September at the Martin family residence. I accept that what happened was not the result of any supernatural phenomenon, but rather the desperate actions of a young girl driven to violence by her dogmatic parents and old church rituals that are thought to drive out evil. I am happy to report that since accepting the truth, my nightmares have ceased, and I now enjoy peace of mind that I have not felt since the incident. Given my progress since first coming here, I respectfully request that my release from Yale Psychiatric Institute, contingent upon follow-up appointments with Dr. Spinell in the future. Sincerely, John Ward. There was nothing left of the mirror.
A gun with one bullet.
The forest had changed. It opened its mouth and led me to her. The long paths of trees brought me to the demon. If I could not save her, I had to stop her from harming anyone else. And there she was. I went back to my car. Police arrest man accused of murdering missing girl. A New York man is in custody after he confessed to the murder of a Sterling girl who had been missing. John Ward of Palmyra was pulled over on the Snake Meadow Hill Road last night after a state trooper reported hearing a gunshot. The officer thought it might be poachers. The officer said Ward was acting nervous and suspicious after being pulled over. When questioned, Ward reportedly said, "I've killed her." According to the police report, the officer called for backup after Ward became increasingly upset, saying repeatedly that there was a demon inside her. Ward was taken to Sterling Police Headquarters for further questioning. Ward then confessed to authorities that he shot and killed Amy Martin, a 17-year-old girl who had been missing for 9 days after escaping from a mental institution. After a brief search, police located Amy's body in the woods near the now abandoned Martin home. In addition to receiving a gunshot wound to the stomach, Amy showed injuries suggesting that she had been thrown out the second-story window of the house. An officer who helped recover the body told reporters that Amy's face had been mutilated in a very brutal manner. Ward was found dressed as a priest when he was pulled over. It is suspected that he impersonated a priest to gain his victim's trust after Catholic authorities in Rome confirmed that Ward was not an ordained minister. The rest of the article is missing. The dream of the forest led me elsewhere. Would I ever escape this hell? Was it Mr. Martin? He was dead. No. Had a demon come for him too? He was gone.
I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. I shall not be afraid.
Esteemed Cardinal Gifford, with all due respect, you cannot grasp the importance of the work I am doing for young Michael without being present here. Michael needs my help now more than ever. In the past few weeks, I have made great progress with Michael's affliction. Nevertheless, whatever darkness is inside of him fights back with increasing ferocity. We must not let up the fight against the enemy at such a critical time. There's another reason why I dare not return Michael to his family, nor let them see him. The darkness inside him afflicts his soul, but it also causes terrible strain on his body, so that there may be no mistaking what I mean. I have enclosed a photograph of young Michael during one of our sessions. The photograph is missing. Even death could save me from this forest belly. For I was no longer in a forest, but inside the body of a demon. And yet there I found it, a ritual. I knew not what was going on. Perhaps if I could close this off, I could protect others. Maybe the demon would return from Amy's body. Hello, Amy. I'm sorry to hear about your parents' decision. It is hard for people to trust what they do not understand. I know you are only 17, but you are clearly an adult, and you are able to handle your own life. Do not let your mom and dad stop you from following your dreams. If there is anything I can do to help you, just let me know. We are having a get-together at the clinic Saturday nights, and I would love for you to stop by. We still consider you a part of the team, even if your mom and dad do not. We hope to see you there. Gary. It seemed to accompany the demons. Perhaps I could put this one out of its misery.
I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. I shall not be afraid of the terror.
Unidentified body discovered near wrecked car. The site of a deadly car accident was discovered along the road near Sterling this morning, along with the body of a person who has not been identified. At 6 a.m. this morning, a resident called to report an accident along Snake Meadow Hill Road. The driver of a silver sedan had swerved off the road and struck a tree. A spokesman for the police commented that the body appeared to have been dragged several yards away from the car deeper into the woods after having been ejected from the front windshield. It was noted that the body had been mangled beyond recognition. Investigators suspected that this was probably the work of coyotes. Police also noted that parts of a cleaned white-tailed deer were found in the trunk of the car. From a white-tailed deer, a hunter typically gets 75 pounds of meat. However, it appears the victim of the accident was only able to carry 25 pounds back to the car. I only escaped from this forest was mercy. Perhaps if I could keep everyone alive, I too could leave. In a panic, I shot my gun, and the demon was struck and killed by a truck.
I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. I shall not be afraid of the terror in the night, nor the evil that walketh in darkness. Because I have made the Lord my refuge. Because I have set my love upon Him, therefore will He deliver me. I shall call upon Him and He will answer me. He will be with me in trouble. He will deliver me and honor me. I can't explain what happened at that house. I can only have faith that I did the right thing.
Police animal experts investigate chupacabra remains found near Sterling. Sterling PD is enlisting the helps of local animal experts from the University of Connecticut after the remains of an unidentified animal were found near Sterling. The remains of an animal, which some residents are calling a chupacabra, were discovered on Snake Meadow Hill Road by a motorist yesterday. The animal had apparently been struck by a vehicle, and parts of its carcass were scattered across the road. Police say they initially investigated the gruesome scene because the motorists who discovered the remains had told them they appeared to be of a person. After arriving at the scene, police conducted that the remains were of some kind of animal. As a matter of public safety, we want to be sure about what exactly we're dealing with here, said Sterling police spokesman. This is clearly not a deer or a coyote. If it's a mountain lion or an exotic pet that escaped from its owners, or an animal with rabies, we need to know about it. Animal experts attached to the investigation would not speculate about what kind of animal had been found, although they commented that the animal was hairless, anemic, and apparently suffered from the rickets, a vitamin D deficiency that appears in animals and children who have not received enough sunlight.